Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Book More Show. It's Stuart here with a slight change of plan this week. We had a show ready to go, but we've also just released the latest episode of the More Cheese, Less Whiskers podcast. Dean was talking to Ben Byrne, a marketing guy from Canada, who's breaking into doing marketing for financial services guys. This is a really great conversation for us because it focuses on how to use a book to leverage that market. So I wanted to slip this into the stream here and make sure you guys had a chance to listen to it, and then we'll be back next week with regular programming. So take a listen in. A couple of the main points to pick up on, I think, are just the concept of using a book to address an audience. Dean shares a couple of examples of people that we've helped already and how it's changed their results. The other thing to think about is the syndication element of it. So Ben's talking about doing marketing for financial services companies, and Dean talks a lot about the scale-ready algorithm and how once you've broken the code or cracked the code once, you can then leverage that into other areas. So the last thing to think about is, if you're in an industry where that applies to you, if you're delivering a service to multiple other service providers or business, and you can write the book that will then help them get leads, so base your success on their success and do everything that you can to create those results, those outcomes for them, then that's a great opportunity to use a book as a leverage tool. We talk about them quite a lot as white label books. We've done several where we've helped one person write the initial version of the book and then white label it for their clients. We do it in the real estate side of the business as well. So you've probably heard us talk about it. So listen in. I won't jump back in at the end because this is an hour podcast. So save jumping back in. I'll just leave you with a quick reminder. If you haven't already checked out the More Cheese, Less Whiskers podcast, then head over to morecheeselesswhiskers.com and you can hear the other shows there. There's a number of great examples, including quite a few people talking about books. If you want to be a guest on the Book More show, we mentioned last week that, or the week before rather, that we wanted to start giving the opportunity to speak to you guys a little bit more and answer some of your questions. So we've had some great response already. We're just coordinating those now. If you want to be a guest, then head over to 90minutebooks.com/guest and fill out a couple of details and we'll be in touch. Then obviously, if you want to get started, no time like the present, head over to 9minutebooks.com and follow the Get Started link, and we'll be here ready to help you get yours created. And lastly, just on that syndication point, if you've got a book in mind, or if you're in a business that does deliver service or help other people with their marketing or create their business, and this white label syndicated idea seems like it's something that might be interesting, then just shoot me an email to Stuart at 90minutebooks.com. And if you want to have a chat about it, we've done this now for several different types across a couple of different niches. So drop me a quick email and it would be great to run through some details and see how it might work for you. Okay, guys, I'll leave you to it. Looking forward to catching you next week with back to the regular show.
Mr. Byrne, I presume.
Dr. Dean Jackson, is that you?
That's me. How are you, sir?
I'm great. I am great.
Well, I'm very excited. I have my evil scheme hatching notebook and my pen, and I have a brand new bottle of Evian water and my headset, and I'm prepared fully to hatch evil schemes for the next 60 minutes with you.
Awesome. Perfect. I can't wait.
So tell me what's going on.
Yeah, sure.
You're in Canada, right?
Yeah, I'm a filthy Canadian. I'm from the East Coast. You're from Toronto, right?
Yes. I was actually, though, born in Stephenville, Newfoundland.
Really? That's funny because I was just there in August. Beautiful.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Well, my dad was in the U.S. Air Force and stationed at Stephenville, Newfoundland. So I lived there for 2 weeks.
Oh.
But you can't take that away. I'm an official Newfie.
Well, have you been screeched in, though? Because that's the real test.
Have I been what?
screeched in. That's where that you got to kiss the cod and you drink the shot of screech, which is like rum. It's disgusting. Great time.
Oh no, I have I've not been greased in. I guess I'm not official.
Fair enough. I actually went. I caught my first cod there. But anyway, enough about me. I'll tell you a bit about what we're doing. A bit's changed since. My God, I applied to this almost like 6 months ago. It feels like, but I'm a copywriter.
Hot ticket, Ben. It's a hot ticket.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited here. It's funny. I've been listening to I Love Marketing and this podcast forever, but anyway, right now I've been listening to your podcast. I was like, here I am. I couldn't pick like a niche, right? It was like the very first profit activator. So I finally just decided on just doing financial advisors, basically, with my buddy. So we're basically doing, because I'm in your buddy Frank Kern's inner circle there.
Oh, nice. Okay, good.
Yeah. I saw one guy in Australia was helping financial advisors with webinars. I was like, wait, I know how to do that. And I figured just like nobody is really doing that here. So that's what we're working on right now.
Perfect. Well, tell me all about it. So what's the how are you doing so far, and what's the it's a bit, what's working?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. It's a bit slow going right now because my partner and I, he kind of does Facebook ads a lot, and I just kind of do the emails. And anyway, we have our first client. He's like a wealth management guy in Toronto, which is pretty cool. We're just in the process of setting that up now to kind of get our kind of like the first one, like the proof of concept.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going slow for us, but I mean it's because there's like a communications gap because he's in Ukraine and a bunch of stuff. But I'd love to cook up some evil schemes here to really get this thing moving.
Yeah. Okay. So your friend in the Ukraine is working with you on the technical side of doing all the webinars and all that stuff, or he's on the advisor side?
Yeah, it's actually his uncle. I know this guy from Toronto because I lived in Toronto for a bit. Okay. And he just, I'm actually planning on moving from Halifax to Ukraine to work there. But so what he does, hopefully. So what he does is basically, he's like a wizard at Facebook ads, my buddy Ryan. I was hoping he'd be on this call, but anyway, he basically does, he knows the financial advisor niche really well, and I don't as much, but I'm like, I know copywriting and sales and all that stuff and webinars, plus all the stuff from good old Frank.
Yes. Okay, so what have you figured out so far? What are you testing, or where are you at with that?
Yeah, we've been testing. I mean, there's so many different options, but I really just kind of want to get, I don't know, almost like the minimum viable product, like just get him results, just to prove that this thing really works. And then I feel like once that happens, we can just go to other financial advisors, and even if they're doing stuff the old way, like referrals or whatever, they'll say, hey, look what we did for this guy, and they'll be like, oh wow, like I didn't even know this is a thing.
Right.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Cool. So, have you figured out your approach, or have you been testing things so far, or are you just in the planning stages of it right now?
No, we've been, as far as, you mean like reaching out to them?
Well, reaching out to them, or actually getting the some campaigns going, or getting anything.
Oh, okay. For the actual client that we already have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're just actually, it's funny, we just got the content from him for his seminars. Like, I figure our target market is kind of financial advisors who are doing seminars, and then they can just convert that to a webinar, right? It was a bit of a roadblock getting his content because he has a big team, and it was we haven't even started building the webinar yet, so we're still pretty new at this specific offer.
So what are the topics of the, like, so he's got a winning model right now with the seminar. So I imagine that it's very similar to what they do in the States here of sending invitations, having people come to a dinner seminar, doing a presentation, inviting them to come for a consultation in the office, and then turning them into clients. So that whole model, that's kind of the default model that everybody uses in the financial world. So what have been the winning appeals that they've used for the seminars? What kind of topics?
Sure, yeah. So they have two main audiences. It's kind of hard for this guy because his ideal client is like $1 million in assets, and he's in Toronto. And I mean, we can find that list, but basically there's two avatars, if you want to call them that. So like a business, like a boomer, like business guy, they're kind of thinking about retiring, but like basically want to save on taxes or make more money. And then there's, my God, I should probably have my other notes open, but yeah, that's the main one we're focusing on. Basically, these kind of like entrepreneurial types. Let me just actually open my notes one second.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So
have they done already? I guess what I'm curious about is does he have a successful system right now that he's got some way of connecting all the dots from picking a list, doing a mailing, or doing Facebook ads, getting people to a workshop, presenting the information, getting them into the office, and turning them into a client? Has he got a system that does that successfully? Right now? Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot
basically, they do a few things, right? But they do hire students for like cold calling. So they don't do as many seminars, I guess, as they could. So that's why they're kind of open to this. They're like, well, it's worked for them in the past. So so business owners and those nearing retirement. So retirees, those are the two avatars. And they do have a few angles there.
Yeah, tell me about those. What's the...
Sure. Let me I got some weird thing playing on my computer. So the first angle is basically business succession planning. So, so if it's a family business, what are they going to do? Are they going to sell their business? Or, that's one. The individual pension plan strategy is another thing that they do for basically like a tax sheltered savings vehicle. And I'm kind of speaking like Klingon here because I'm not really like a finance guy, which is ironic.
Right.
But and then another thing is it's another idea they have. They call it a dual will strategy, which is basically it's like they can set up a will for their business, which is like another way to save in taxes. So those are three things that have been kind of pretty successful, and like people respond a lot to those.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I've never heard those words, dual will. So what about that? What about that?
As in, what is it actually?
Yeah, what do you know? What do you know about that?
Yeah, so it's basically, I guess I could just read you word for word what it says, but it's like under the right circumstances, it makes sense for a business owner to create a second will for their business or their private corporation in order to minimize probate taxes. So, and basically you can make an investment under $2,000 and save over $100,000 in taxes, or at least up to that. Got to worry about disclaimers. That's one idea.
Okay. And do they have a way of generating leads for that right now? You mentioned that they have like students do cold calling. What are they doing, and who are they calling?
Yeah, they just buy lists of basically affluent people in the Greater Toronto area. That's one way. So I was thinking of a few different options for us, like either direct mail, which is tried and true, but they think, it's too expensive, so they want to try Facebook ads first, which is fair enough. Like my friend's pretty good at that, so. But I think it's either one or the other.
Mm-hmm. But what do they have the cold callers say? How are they doing this? So they get the list and they have people calling them up and saying what?
Yeah, they're just trying to get them in for an appointment. Basically, like, hey, like it's probably. Hey,
so you got some money there. Hey, this is
it's like
Jason down at the financial advisor office here. I see you got see here on my list that you got some money. You want to come into the office and talk about it? I mean, what do they say?
The money here.
Yeah.
We have a monocle cleaning kit. Basically, like, hey, have you talked to your advisor? I don't even have the script in front of me, which is embarrassing. It has a pretty low success rate. Like there's a lot of opportunity here.
Right. That's why the reason I'm asking those things is to see like where I'm looking for the clues of what you can build on, what they're already doing. Like if they've got, if they have a way of getting people to a seminar or a workshop or whatever they're doing, do they do direct mail for that, or do they?
They definitely
how do they get people to that? Okay. And what's the offer? Do you have any of the postcards or any of the invitations or mailing that they send for those?
Yeah, I do. Let me bring up. You would think I'd be all prepared for this.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Frank. So, how's are you in Florida right now?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
It's a bit cold. I think my stepmother just went down there. She said it's only 19 degrees.
Oh
like
my
what?
goodness.
That's summer. Yeah.
So, are you looking at the postcard or the invitation, or do you have it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're pretty generic. I'm just
looking for what the topic is or what they're saying to get people in the room. And I got a couple of strategies that would be
here's one.
Helpful to test.
Like your first name. So this one's about investment properties. So it says whether you are looking to purchase an investment property or you're a business owner who requires capital to pursue growth opportunities. High net worth individuals often have specific capital needs that extend beyond traditional financing. So this one's about creative financing, I guess. As such, creativity and flexibility play an important role when it comes to financing. And we would like to invite you to a seminar on the date, hosted alongside so-and-so, to discuss innovative financing strategies to build wealth for investors. And then these guys specialize in alternative financing solutions and pride itself on out-of-the-box thinking to help clients capitalize on opportunity for them. And so then it says the topics of discussion include enhancing your investment portfolio returns with the potential of turning 8% into 12%, purchasing an investment property with zero money down, and taking cash out of a business in a tax-efficient manner. And then it basically says if you're interested but you can't come, just let us know, and we'd be happy to arrange a consultation meeting to answer any questions you might have.
Right.
So pretty basic stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. So when you look at this, so what I do know that, and we've had this experience over and over and over, that if you have something that is working as a workshop, where you're getting people to come, that you can, double or triple or more the response to it by offering a book as opposed to a workshop. Now, because what's happening there is that you get the people who will come to a workshop are a subset of the people who would love the information, but they're not available or able to come to a workshop on Tuesday night.
Right.
And so they don't respond. And like you said, if you're not able to make it, call for a consultation. That sounds like too big of a leap right now, right?
Come to a sales call,
Call now. We've got trained salespeople are standing by.
We are your friends. Give us your money.
Right.
It makes sense. if you look at it, if you thought of it like bullseye, right?
Right, because that's
Reverse
the thing,
bullseye.
right? So I've had this happen again and again. Like you maybe, you heard. I did an episode with Melton, with a guy who works with a doctor that does stem cell.
I think I remember
treatments,
that one.
right? And he was doing workshops. They're running full-page ads in the magazine, and they are in newspapers. And we talked about doing a book instead. And Malcolm sent me an update, and he said, "Hey, Dean, since our conversation, we've seen our leads and conversions grow substantially. Where we were attracting 20 to 30 people a month to our seminars, we're now attracting 80 to 100 and having to add additional overflow events to accommodate everyone that would like to attend. This was accomplished by adopting your recommendation of using a book as our lead magnet rather than the one-step process of inviting everyone interested. The book helped establish our credibility and authority, plus enabled us to build a list of over 1,000 people interested in our program in a very short time." So this, you've got information, right, that a certain group of people would want.
Right.
So by offering it as a book, that's kind of you're building this list that's an asset now that you'll be able to invite them to future workshops, every time you have one.
Right. And, but I guess my idea was, I've been in enough of Frank Kern's, his monthly call or weekly calls or bi-weekly, I guess, where basically every question to him is just like, "Oh yeah, just do a webinar, dude."
Yeah. And you could do a webinar.
Like,
that's the thing is instead of somebody coming to a live thing. But even that, if you watch even if you watch Frank's moves, what he's doing is he's leading with a book, and that, has made that makes a big difference because you kind of separate the compelling from the convincing.
Yeah.
This way, right? You've got each step along the way. Right now you've got this broad group of people who you suspect may be interested. And when you make it as easy as possible for people to respond, now you get a list of people who are prospects, right? Now you get the biggest, the widest list that you can because it's all amplifiers. It's just, there's no filters involved. It's just, here's all the information and you can get it right now with this, just ask for this book, right? And that's easy to consume. And it's easier to consume even than a webinar. And I say that,
a webinar, you got to sit there and,
that if somebody's not able to sit there or still not available on that Tuesday or not able to sit there and watch it right now, they're less likely to opt in for it because they're connecting the opt-in with the consumption. And whereas a book goes right into, it matches what our natural desires are to gather information, right? We're gatherers. We're like, we're genetically coded, right, for that. But if you're
hunter-gatherer, I know. It's so
right?
true,
I mean, if we're out walking on the field and we stumble across these, bananas, that we're going to grab the bananas and take them back to the cave, right? Even though we're not hungry right now, we know that we're going to want them later. And that's
it's so funny you say that,
But that's the way. That's why all this stuff works like that, So I would.
Sorry to cut you off. I just had this a tiny idea. What about just taking the webinar script and turning that into a book itself, like transcribing it. Do you think that would work?
Yeah, sure. It doesn't really matter, you know.
They care about the results, right?
Right. The title of the book, the things that matter about a book. And this is, you know, I mean, I've got a whole company that we have a whole team of people. That's all we do all day is make 90-minute books, right? That's the whole thing. And the reason that it works, the reason that it's so appealing is that you get 100% of the good stuff of writing a book with a 90-minute book, in that, you know, you've got the things that matter. The things that matter are that you have a book, that you have a title, that when your ideal audience reads it, they say, I want that book. And you've got a way for them to get it, a landing page, right? That's the three things. That's the three things that really matter about a book. That's what drives the response. What they don't know or don't care about when they're requesting the book is they don't know how many pages it is. So it doesn't matter whether it's 50 pages or 250 pages. They don't care how long it took you to write it. And they don't care how cleverly you crafted the second sentence in paragraph 3 of chapter 2, right? How you slaved over how to word that, you know? Nobody cares about that.
Nobody cares.
The truth is that half the people that buy any book don't even open it. So all we want to do, all we want to use the book for is to get people to ask for it. And as soon as they ask for it, I don't care whether they read it. That's not about it. As soon as they ask for it, the book has done its job. And I just want to engage now in a conversation with somebody who's asked for a book about creative financing or about equity or buying properties with zero down or whatever the topic is, right?
So so getting them to basically raise their hands that they're interested, and it's kind of like the path of least resistance, right?
Well, that's it. And it starts up, you know, then it starts a conversational conversion path, you know. So if you look at it, if we look at the way that it flows with the profit activators, is you've selected a single target market, high net worth or high investable assets or high income or whatever they are. You've chosen a mechanism of using a postcard, direct mail, or using Facebook ads or whatever it is to offer a book that has the title that your ideal audience is going to respond to. And let's just pause right there, because that right there is the big win. As soon as you get that as soon as you get that invisible prospect to become a visible prospect, you're more than halfway there, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's funny that you say that, because I listen to so many More Cheese, Less Whiskers podcasts. That's why I picked financial advisors for us, because they're a visible prospect, and kind of. But same idea. I'm totally with you. It makes so much sense. It's funny that we forget the most simple things, but they're the most powerful, right?
Right. That's exactly right. But what you're, you know, where you've got it now, what I would be looking for is to figure out something that you can syndicate. You know, like I would look at it for you. What would be the thing that you could crack the code for one advisor that helps them in their local area, and then, you know, use that to start relationships with other advisors all over
That's
Canada.
just it. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that too. That's where we're going with this. So the idea was, you know, get this working for one guy, and then hopefully we can bring it to other people, kind of, you know, syndicate. That's a good word.
Yeah, that's exactly
But
it.
I realized how broad financial advisors are. It's like, it could be insurance guys. It could be, my God, it's like, there's such a huge spectrum there, right? So it's like kind of picking a sweet spot, or trying to either that or get rid of, half the market. You got to narrow it down like a bullseye.
Yeah.
Who can we best help, I guess?
Right.
And then how many of those people are there?
Right. That's exactly right. And are there, is it, if you can figure out a way that, that it's not just about the highest net worth,
right. Yeah.
That, you can, there's a lot of advisors that help,
everyone, right?
Yes. That help everyone. That would be a valuable thing.
Yeah. I've called a bunch of financial advisors just doing my research to see if this is actually a viable market. And I found that, like, one of the things about financial advisors that they told me, like, their words, not mine, like, everyone has money. It's like everyone is a potential customer if they, in some way or another, like, it could be taxes, it could be estate planning, investments, you name it.
Yep.
So there's a huge, that's why we picked them, because the opportunity is so enormous.
Yeah.
And I think most people think it's too hard to get them results. But I was one of those people until I was in Frank Kern's group, and I saw some dude in Australia. He was like, yeah, I'm not going to try to mimic his Australian accent. Mine's terrible, but he's like, yeah, I made this financial advisor up to like $100,000 a month using this system. And I was like, it was like a light bulb moment for me, because here I was trying to be everything to everyone, right? Just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think that's part of it.
So
like part of
Mm-hmm.
What really has to help is that you really, no matter what, even if you're going to be the copywriter, that's what you're coming at this as, right? Or a strategist, marketing,
both,
service provider kind of thing, that you really have to dive into this, and you really have to get to know what the look for what the opportunities are, what's compelling, what are the things that people are most concerned about,
and again, it's just because it's such a broad market. It's like, if I, for example, my friend's uncle here, he services affluent people, and they have different needs than, as like regular people, let's call them, I don't know, civilians. They have different needs and desires and problems, but it doesn't mean you can't service them. It's just a different market. And just, for us, it's like, well, I was thinking, who could we not only get the best results for, but who would also, we care about money too. Like, we want to get paid. So the financial advisors, even the local ones who, their goal is to get maybe $10 million assets under management. And that is actually a very, like, it's insignificant. It's like so small. But if you're doing cold calling, that's like Mount Everest. But there are other people that,
especially if they're getting it a couple of 100,000 at a time.
Right, exactly. Right. But for us, it's like, man, we could do that in, like, with a bit of targeted marketing, like, we could do that in like weeks. Like, we would blow their mind. We couldn't even make those claims, because they'd be like, well, this doesn't sound real. Oh, sorry, I got
right. But I think for you, part of this thing, anytime you're going to syndicate something, or you're going to do that, is you've got to get to work on the prototype. You've got to do your N of 1 study, where you're going to work to crack the code. And
it's funny because
each step along the way, you document what's happening, and you're able to duplicate it.
Yeah, it's so funny that you describe it like that, because I was thinking like a scientist. It's almost scientific the way you do it. Like,
it is, absolutely method. It is. Yeah, it is. That's exactly what we take as the scientific method. We propose hypotheses, and then you set up the experiment, and you go to work, and you observe what happens, record all the results, and then you duplicate it again. And if you can get it to predictably work again, then you got yourself a winner that you can scale.
It's so funny you say that, because I think of everything in the scientific method in business. No one else does. Well, almost no one else, apparently. But it makes it so much easier and less stressful. But at the same time, you got to do the work. So that's where we're at now. It's like a feedback loop, though. Even the 8 profit activators, they have the lead gen, the conversion to get them the result, and then the return path, right? For lack of a better word.
Right. That is exactly it.
You guys are smart. You guys are pretty smart over there.
When you look at these advisors, when you look at the advisors, part of the thing that, like, one of the easy magic tricks that you can do for an advisor is to help them orchestrate referrals. Like their business is primarily based on referrals generally, but they're not doing anything to orchestrate it. They're coming at it that they're asking for, at the very best, they're asking for referrals. A lot of them aren't, but they're getting them.
Genius. You're a genius.
So, one of the things that everybody, if you start to think about that they've got, that's an asset that they have. Everybody wants to go out and just, run this magic ad campaign that's going to get them new clients. But the truth is that, especially in a business like financial advising, there's a strong element of trust that has to be built, and that's why referrals, we often, need to depend on others, to the people who we know and trust, to advise us on who's advising them. So it's built in, right, that there's high stakes with that. And that you've got that opportunity. So if you have a conversation with an advisor around, measuring their return on relationship, and that's something, those are words that they've never used before or heard of, that if you start a conversation with them and say, well, how many clients do you have right now? And how many people do you know? If you get to at least 150 people, which is the most,
Dunbar's number.
Yeah, Dunbar's number, right? That's the thing, that there's 150 people that know them, that if they saw them at the grocery store, they'd stop and recognize them by name and have a conversation. Those people could be referring them, but they're not orchestrating that, and the only reason is because they may be in sort of a faulty way, thinking that they don't want to beg their clients for business, or they don't want to appear weak, or they don't want to appear like they can't get business on their own.
Yeah, like they're desperate. Yeah, I hear you, 100%. But it's like it's just the wrong way of looking at it, right? Like, I know what you say about referrals. It's a conversation. So, hey, do you know anybody who knows anything about, I don't know, taxes? Like, oh yeah, talk to Jimbo.
And there's the thing. That's exactly right. Is that you look at it that, rather than asking for referrals, like you're asking them to do you a favor, once you realize that the only reason people refer is because it makes them feel good, then you get the chance to just engineer situations where they get to feel good.
Oh, I just got a cool idea for the good.
Tell me, what did you get?
The Goodwill referral machine, or something, or something like that. Okay. Engineering, I don't know. There's an idea there.
Right. So when you look at it, that if you get people over that mindset, right, that they're asking for, or they're begging, or they're showing weakness, when you really understand why they refer, because it makes them feel good, they want to feel like an insider, they want to feel like they're a trusted advisor to their friends, and it raises their status in the herd that way. That then now it's about engineering situations that happens more often, right? And so when you have that conversation with them and you realize that all referrals happen as a result of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And that in order for that referral to take place, 3 things have to happen. Number one, they have to notice that the conversation is about money or taxes or financing or mutual funds or business succession or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And they have to think about your advisor.
Yeah.
And then they have to introduce them to the person that they had the conversation with. All 3 of those things have to take place. And so often, for every referral that they do get, as a passive referral, somebody saying, hey, I was talking with Ben and he said you do a great job with him and I'd love it if I could talk to you about helping me. That's most of the referrals that people get.
Yeah.
If you start to think about it now, about how to orchestrate them, for every one of those, there's probably at least 5 opportunities that don't connect all 3. Right? They're probably in conversations about money and don't even notice it a lot of the time.
Of course.
Or they notice it, but they don't think about you.
Or the funny thing about money,
you, but don't say anything, or they probably tell you, oh yeah, I tell everybody about you.
Yeah.
Right. But you're not.
Okay, we're the clients, right?
Referrals.
Right.
Right.
That's where the book comes in or the landing page or whatever, right?
Yes. So now that's exactly right. When you orchestrate a situation that you present that, you kind of future pace it, right? So you're saying to people, we use something, we use a tool called the World's Most Interesting Postcard, which is like a monthly newsletter postcard that just has all kinds of interesting facts on one side. And then on the back, it has a Post-it note graphic, and in there we put a note that basically brings a high probability conversation to the light every month. So we might say, hi Ben, just a quick note in case you hear someone talking about buying an investment property this year. A lot of times with the new tax laws or whatever it is, it's a great way to maximize the ROI. If you hear someone talking about it, give me a call or text me and I'll get you a copy of my book for creative financing ways or whatever the title would be.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
Now when they hear that conversation, they've got a way now to feel like a hero because that's going to remind them that, oh, Ben just said he had a book and that I could get that. So he's now going to call you to get that book to give to his friend, which is going to make him look like the hero, which is exactly what we want. Even though when they call you to ask for the book, you get to start the conversation and say, well, tell me about your friend. Are they, and then how can we connect? But you're focusing on the highest probability outcome, which is not depending on your client to convince their friend to call you, but the higher probability is that your friend or client would be more comfortable calling you. Yeah. And that's a higher, so that's where we focus on, But that kind of thing, like when you're starting a relationship with new advisors, new to you, that's often a great way to start the relationship because you can get some immediate, really low cost.
Get your foot in the door, right?
ROI.
Like perfect.
Yeah. And that paves the way into new stuff,
Right. Man. I'm so happy I called you, Dean. That's awesome.
Good.
That's such a great idea. And that's like a referral campaign. What about like stick letters? I'm not sure. Like they probably have people their herd gets poached, right? That's a big problem with financial advisors too. Like
right. Mm-hmm.
And they have like various grades that they kind of like, oh, this is an A client, so they call them like 12 times a year. Or and then this is only a B client, so I'm going to call him 6 times. And then what? It's like, why do all my clients leave? But that would be an interesting way to not only keep your clients but also engineer referrals. I think the post-it.
Yes, that's exactly right. There's the thing is like when you even just dividing up their business into before unit, during unit, and after unit is an eye opener in a lot of ways for them, because they realize how after unit heavy their business is, meaning that the majority of their revenue comes from recurring fees, recurring management fees with the clients that they already have assets under management,
It's funny because I'll be honest, my biggest blind spot for the 8 profit activators was always the after unit as well. I didn't really see it as, I was like, well, it's like a flat earth. It just falls off, never to be seen again unless.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's most people too. Like that's so funny. And at the same time, like for our own offer in the during unit, like I think the better we get that, it's almost going to create our own momentum for us. It's financial advisors who start talking like these guys are like, they're either they love us or hate us. Hopefully they love us. But I think starting with the return path, or I keep calling it the return path, but the after unit is like a great like leverage, like foot in the door kind of thing.
That's exactly right. And it's the highest probability. I mean, if you take 150 people, and let's say that you send a postcard for $1 a month per person, you're in for 150 people. You're talking about $1,800 for the course of the year. And each client is worth so much more than that. It's almost ridiculous when such a high, and all
Mm.
the initial work that it takes, and they already have their address. It's just
following up.
Just starting it.
Yeah. I know a lot of them suck at following up too. That's also a huge leverage for it. Not even just lead generation, but following up. Engineer, like orchestrating the referrals, as you call it. I love that word.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a great idea.
Mm-hmm. And for part of people, when they look at it, that if they're maximizing their after unit as advisors, it's really there's so many opportunities even to just do more with the clients that they already have.
Yeah.
Like helping them get into other alternative things, like, turning into property investors or doing some of those other things that they're able to help with,
It's just like it goes back to like the 3 ways to grow a business, doesn't it?
Yes, that's it.
Increase their average transaction value, get them to spend more money or invest more money.
Yep. That's exactly right.
So, man, there's so much opportunities here that it's just like, oh man, I was just focused on the before unit. That's my copywriting training. But that's awesome.
But now, how do you get to how do you find these advisors? That's really
we've been doing it like the old-fashioned way. Just we're using a mix of like cold emailing, basically direct outreach, if you want to call it that. Calling, I called up a few people, a lot of people actually, and then do social media kind of outreach stuff. We don't want to start putting money into the advertising system until we get the offer kind of like going. Like we get the proof of concept or the prototype.
Yeah.
And then once we get that, we're just going to feed it into the machine. But I figured we were going to get like maybe 5 clients before we really know what the hell we're doing. And then we can like we have something here that is like proven now, and we can just start paying, and I can use all my advertising experience, well, it's not really experience, but like my weird advertising brain to start cranking this thing out. So yeah.
That's awesome. Is it your so what other were you thinking about the Facebook things here?
Yeah.
What what kind of opportunity do you see for that?
So for our personal, like for us getting more clients, or for getting our clients?
Well, certainly, yeah. I mean, that might be a great way to model. Like, I mean, I'm that's what I do. I work with a lot of real estate agents, and so I use that same model, right? Like this
Which
week,
one?
so I'm running ads for a 90-minute book called Listing Agent Lifestyle. And it's for real estate agents. And that, I'm constantly running those. I get, book opt-ins for about $1.54 right now. If I just look at the things that, and I can get, hundreds or 1,000 opt-ins a week like that, and look at just engaging those people in the dialogue. But the thing is that once they ask for that, the book, I know that they're in the right place because they are attracted by that message, right? So it's so much about the book titles that make a difference,
Yeah,
knowing what you know, like doing what you know about the financial advisor with the workshop that they're doing. That's where I would kind of start, is if you can come up with a book title that would be the right thing. And it's really interesting because we do ads. We're running ads for our 90-minute book business, right? And one of the things I alternate, we have I just run ads offering a copy of the 90-minute book, which is itself a 90-minute book. And people download that. Or now we're testing. I have a report on the 5 most compelling types of book titles, and that
I read that one.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Okay,
so you must have just seen the ad recently about it, because that.
No. Oh, sorry. I heard it from one of your podcasts. You mentioned them, I think,
gotcha.
and then I went to see it. But your
gotcha,
system works.
Right. But there you go. When you look at it, that I look at it that there are 5 types of book titles, and I don't mind sharing those with people, because I know that if they can get the title right, like if they get a title that they're excited about, that they're going to be so much more excited about now writing the book, because it's real to them, right?
Yeah, and then they get to the hard part, which is actually writing it, and they're like, fuck. What's Dean Jackson doing? What's
right, exactly. Yeah, I've got 90 minutes. Let's knock this out before dinner, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's hilarious. By the way, I promote your 90-minute book title to anyone who asks about writing books. By the way, like Bruno, you don't have to pay me, by the way, but if you want to, that'd be fine.
That's fine.
Kidding. That's so. Are you talking about like a book for like us, like for example, like how to?
I think book for anybody.
Yeah, both, definitely both.
Anybody, like both. But when you're saying about for the financial advisors, right? Like, what type of title would be the kind that would get those people to raise their hand? Is it I call them name it and claim it titles, where it's like just holding the book is going to give you what the title says, like
financial
piece, the 4-hour work week, those kind of things,
right? Yeah.
Or the declaration books, like Stop Your Divorce or Double Your Income or Think and Grow Rich, which are action books. That's what I'm going to do. Somebody grabs that book because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to think and grow it.
Idea.
I'm going to stop my divorce. I'm going to,
like stop cold or stop refer or something.
I'm going to double my income. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the third ones are how to, because you can't finish the phrase how to without adding some kind of a benefit-oriented thing, right? How to, there's a outcome attached to that, right? How to, and sometimes that's the longest thing. So look at Frank Kern, right? How to get high-paying clients even if nobody knows who you are. That's how to compelling title, right?
Got me on that one like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was a great book.
Right, exactly.
But you're totally right about the. I didn't read the copy. I was like, hell yeah, I want that book, Frank Kern.
Right.
How to get? Yeah, of course. It makes so much sense.
And then before you know it, you ask for it, and you may not have even read it. Right. That's really the reality.
Yeah, I'm one of the weird ones who actually reads it like 10 times.
Me too. I love it, and some people are, and that's even the best. But I guarantee you that probably. I would say 3 out of 4 people who do 90-minute books with us have never read the 90-minute book.
Yeah.
And that's, they see it, they say, oh yeah, I want that. And they just start the conversation, and get going on their own book. But it's done its job because it just got you in the conversation,
Yeah, from the marketing perspective, we just want people to raise their hands, right? We don't care about the how-to so much as like what, Are they raising their hands? Yes. Okay, next step. Yeah, I get you.
So the other type of book thing is like an information gold mine, like where you're saving somebody research, like when you look at things like we did a book on U.S. hockey scholarships. So the U.S. Hockey Scholarship Directory, or the 100 Great Places to Have an Outdoor Wedding, or anything that is research-oriented. We have a Social Security benefits guide. We have a USDA zero-down home loan guide.
Like the home buyer
information. Yes, all of those. Yeah, the guide to Winter Haven Lakefront house prices. All those things are like information gold mines for people who are in fact finding mode
for buyers, right?
And that makes a big difference. And then the fifth one is questions, like listening in on what the questions, the conversation that's going on in people's minds. So there's really powerful books like What to Expect When You're Expecting, or things that are we did a great report on how to know when it makes sense to refinance. All of those things are, what are the questions that people have, that if you can adopt those things, it makes a big difference.
It's hard to pick just one, like the information goldmine, for example. Say if you're doing investment property taxes, like the 10 things you need to know about, buying an investment property, and then basically at the end of it, just say like, you should call in a financial advisor, and guess what? That's what we specialize in. That's like angle. I like that. Or the questions, of course, they're all good. They're all good.
And that's the thing, when you find when you find, like, I think a how-to, any of those ones combined with a how-to as a subtitle, even is a great amplifier. That's really what it takes, is once you get that, once you hear the title that you're talking about, that you got something, and then it becomes.
Can I interrupt for a second? I want to tell you my book title. I forgot I wrote this book, which is so embarrassing. But I actually was really thinking about your book titles, and mine's about selling. I called it Introverted Selling Secrets, like how to become a successful salesman, even if you're scared shitless.
Exactly. That's great.
I was like, I want that. Yeah, it didn't have to even sell it. It was just like, this is sold itself.
That's exactly right. People recognize it. Yep. Well, we had, it's so funny you say it, because I had a guy in London come to one of my Breakthrough Blueprint events, and he did that, the influential introvert.
Oh, really? I love that.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's really that you're on the right track there.
like the wealthy financial advisor or something like that, Like
well, the wealthy barber, right? There's
right.
That's an example of it. That's one of the best financial books ever in Canada.
Yeah, like I'm just thinking for like our personal business, like it's a good one to model. The wealthy financial advisor, how to I don't know, grow your book of business by I don't want to put claims there, so maybe how to grow your book of business without lame stuff like cold calling,
you're
referral.
Right. I mean, it's that whole thing.
How to get yay without boo, as Frank Kern said.
Right, exactly. That's it.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
All right. Well, what's your takeaway here? What's your thoughts about everything to kind of recap what we talked about here?
Yeah. Well, my God, there's a lot of stuff. So I've just been scribbling down notes. But for one, the biggest like immediate like return on investment or on time, I guess, is the referral. Creating some kind of referral campaign. We can do. You think to do postcards? Like postcards is probably better than like emails, or both?
Well, I think it all helps. But I look at the postcards like, go to the world's most interesting postcard.com and you'll see what I'm talking about. That's the postcard that we use. That's the kind of thing where you can do that, set that up with an advisor, and they're going to get an incredible ROI on that.
Yeah.
And that's going to pave the way, for your relationship. Because everybody else who's approaching them is really starting with
buy my shit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Like the cheese or the whiskers, not the cheese, right?
Yes, that's exactly right.
And that's kind of where we were at too, like as far as our own offer goes for pricing, like as far as like what is our offer? We haven't do we do commission? Do we do flat fee? There's too many variables to be honest.
Well, you got to understand what the result you can create is, and that's how you value it, right? That's why when you start with one person and you over invest your time and effort in them, and then every time that you crack a code, it's less time to redo it again, so now it's like you get to a point where you can instruct somebody else how to execute this program, so it doesn't really take any of your time. You just created, I call it scale-ready algorithm. Yeah, that's what you create. Right.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So we're kind of at the we're doing it on commission now for this one. So we're at the result part. So you create the. Yeah. Awesome. We have so much to go on here. So takeaways after the referral thing. That's like a great. I guess like a quicker return on investment for them. Like so they could probably bring that into their lead gen, and then we can come up with evil book titles. What was your acronym for evil, by the way?
It was
evolve something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was. Can't remember.
Okay.
It's
it's like evolve something. I was like, it's not evil. Anyway, it's just focus on the return path. Like they already care about referrals, so why not, instead of fighting against that, why not go with that mindset? But then basically say, hey, we can also do all this other stuff. We can work on their conversion and get them maybe cross sell or something there with their current clients, like upsell them, whatever. And then we can create the lead generation machine itself. We can use a book, or first of all, you got to figure out what information they actually want. But I guess we already have that, right? We just got to turn that into a capture page, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And just get them on the phone. So the sales process itself goes like, ad or mail. They come to a conversion event and then they request like a call or to talk to an advisor. Typically, they want them to come into their office. But I was thinking with the seminar, it could be like basically Facebook ads or direct mail to landing page, and then they watch the video, and then or they don't watch it, and we follow up.
And
with
they
them.
get the book. Yeah, I mean, I would always
exactly,
the front end of any of it would be the book, and then on the thank you page, the moment that they're finished with asking for the book, right? Like, I mean, you look at how simple these pages are. If you go to 90minutebook.com or you go to emailmastery.com, you'll see how completely stripped down those pages are. It's only to start with the book. And then everything happens on the other side of that, right? As soon as you opt in for the 90-minute book, then it's immediately, here's how we can help you write and publish your first book in 90 minutes, right?
Yeah.
We're automatically
it's
now taking them by the hand and leading them to the next step.
Yeah. Because, it's funny. Like, I've only recently started realizing how important leadership, like sales and marketing, is basically being a leader. It's like, hey, here's the next step, and you just drop the breadcrumbs for them. Come here now.
Right.
It's almost like they're little kids,
That's exactly
for lack of a better word.
People are silently
that's
begging
so
to be led. You're right.
Yeah, the good old J. Abraham quote. And I never really completely understood that until recently. Awesome. Yeah, this has been. I have all the notes here, but I'm probably going to listen back to this.
Cool. Well, it'd be great for you to listen. When you listen back, you'll hear it differently because you're not caught off guard or you're not thinking about something. But that's people always say. You'll hear it again, and then you can it'll recapture your notes or you'll hear something. With some
and
clarity.
I got so many random notes. I got to decode them later. Like the highest probability is the after unit. I don't know why I never.
Yeah.
It's so stupid because we know people buy they're typically.
They already know you
and trust. Yeah, the work's already done. Wow.
Yep.
This is I got a lot to kind of work on here.
Awesome.
I want to get to work now.
I
this
enjoyed
has been
it.
great, Dean.
Yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
Nice to talk to a nice Canadian.
Another Canadian. Have you been to the East Coast, by the way? Halifax?
I have, yeah. I was just
nice.
So I was back in Newfoundland 3 or 4 years ago. My mom passed in 2013. So
sorry to hear that.
in the summer of 2014, I went back to Newfoundland. She's from there. That's where she grew up. So she was. So her family has a burial plot. And stuff.
This is totally weird question. But is her last name like Osmond?
No, no.
Okay, never mind. I know a lot of everyone in Canada knows each other. That's never mind.
Funny, isn't it?
What was her
Harvey.
last name? Out of curiosity,
she was Harvey. Was her last name?
Okay,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well,
I don't want to take up any more of your time here, but I could talk all day. But
Thanks,
this
Ben.
has been amazing.
Awesome. Well, keep me posted. Let me know what you come up with. And, and good luck with all that.
For sure. You'll see me probably buying 800, 900 books in the future.
I love it. Perfect.
All right.
Well, I got a whole team standing by to help you. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Ben. Bye.